At 21, his very first animation company went completely bankrupt, and he moved to Hollywood with only $40 in his pocket. A few years later, after finally building a hit cartoon character, one contract mistake cost him almost everything again: his character, most of his top animators, and the business he'd rebuilt from nothing. This is the story of a man who lost his own creation, not once, but twice, and still built one of the largest entertainment empires in the world. He grew up on a small Missouri farm, one of 5 children in a family that struggled financially for years. His father ran a newspaper delivery route, and from the age of 9, he was expected to wake before dawn every single morning to deliver papers through freezing winters, for almost no pay of his own. He loved drawing more than almost anything, sketching in the margins of his school books. Nobody around him took the idea of becoming an artist especially seriously. In his early 20s, he started his own small animation studio in Kansas City, producing short cartoon fairy tales. The business showed early promise, but he had no real understanding of finance, and the studio spent money faster than it earned it. Within a couple of years, it collapsed into complete bankruptcy. He was broke, humiliated, and out of options in Kansas City. So he packed a single cardboard suitcase, bought a one-way train ticket to Hollywood, and arrived with almost nothing. In Hollywood, he and his brother scraped together a tiny studio and created a cartoon rabbit character for a distributor, which became a genuine hit in theaters across the country. For the first time, real success felt within reach. Then, during a business trip to New York to renegotiate his contract, he discovered the distributor had secretly signed almost his entire animation team to work directly for him instead. Worse. Because of how the original contract was written, the distributor legally owned the rabbit character itself. He lost his character, his top staff, and control of the studio's biggest asset, all within a matter of days. On the long train ride back to California, devastated and with almost nothing left to show for years of work, he began sketching a new character in his notebook, a small, cheerful mouse. This time, he made absolutely sure the studio would own every part of it. The mouse's first 2 cartoons found no distributor at all. Refusing to give up, he added synchronized sound to a third short, something almost no cartoon had attempted before. It became an overnight sensation, and the mouse made him famous worldwide. Years later, with the studio finally stable, he decided to risk everything on something no one had ever successfully done: a full-length feature film made entirely of hand-drawn animation. The industry mocked the idea openly, nicknaming it his folly in the press. He mortgaged his own house to help fund it, certain it would either make the studio or destroy it completely. It didn't destroy it. The film became a massive hit, pulling the studio through the Great Depression and proving animated features could work at all. 2 decades later, he poured everything into an entirely new kind of venture, a theme park unlike anything built before. On opening day, almost everything that could go wrong did. Counterfeit tickets let in far more guests than the park could handle. Fresh asphalt hadn't fully hardened in the summer heat, and women's high heels sank straight into the pavement. A plumber's strike forced an impossible choice between working restrooms or working drinking fountains. Food and drinks sold out within hours. Newspapers mocked the disaster mercilessly, some calling it a complete failure on day 1. He didn't close the park. Over the following days and weeks, his team fixed the pavement, restored the plumbing, and refined the operations. Within just 2 months, the park was running smoothly and welcoming 1 million visitors. It went on to become one of the most visited entertainment destinations on the planet, eventually spawning parks on nearly every continent. He lost his first company to bankruptcy. He lost his signature character to a broken contract. He nearly lost his studio betting on one risky film. And his most ambitious project publicly humiliated him on its very first day. Each time, instead of stopping, he simply built the next thing better and made sure he owned it completely. He once said the difference between winning and losing is most often simply not quitting. Every collapse wasn't the end of the story. It was the reason the next chapter had to be built stronger than the last. If this story inspired you, subscribe to the Setback Files. Every week, we uncover the real struggles behind the world's greatest success stories. Which setback would you have quit after? Tell us in the comments below.